Probably the big centerpiece of part one is the big Wonder Woman-Superman fight that takes place in the second act.
Superman?
This goes back to taking a hint from the comics. There was a large-size comic that came out in the 70s. It was Wonder Woman versus Superman, and it was basically, you know, a kind of a hokey reason for them to get together and fight.
Diana, what?
That's something that comic book fans have a tendency to talk about amongst themselves anyways, is, you know, you're always wondering, you know, well, you know, who's stronger or who would win in a given fight. You know, it's like, oh, if Plastic Man and Elongated Man fought, you know, who would win? So we thought that'd be really fun to do. And we came up with what I think is a pretty clever way of getting them to fight each other without knowing that they're fighting each other.
What have you done with Superman?
I know some of the fans on the internet were saying, well, how could Wonder Woman, you know, beat Superman? She doesn't actually. We never actually come down and say, you know, what exactly their respective power levels are, but we've always kind of assumed that she's almost in his class. I mean, she's a pretty strong character, and she's, you know, has a lot of the same power levels and abilities that he does. She flies, she's super strong, she's super invulnerable, super tough. You know, we certainly thought that they would be a pretty even match in a fight.
I hope I didn't hurt you.
Let's just say I'm glad we're usually on the same team.
It's important to realize also that at a certain point, he realizes what's going on and holds back. So, you know, it's pretty much a draw, even though she gets a little bit of the better of him during the fight.
How dare you defile this sacred ground?
Wait! Harm me and the others will remain as they are. Cold, hard stone.
The Felix Faust character originated in the comics, especially on the Justice League show. We never wanted to create brand new villains that didn't exist before, because the history of DC Comics goes back, you know, 60 some odd years, and there's such a wealth of material there. There's so many different villains and so many different kinds of villains that, you know, you pretty much never ever have to create a brand new villain out of whole cloth. So this show, having a strong magic base in the plot, it was natural to bring the Felix Faust character in. But for the sake of this show, we decided to really concentrate more on the sorcerer aspects of his character, to kind of play down the typical stock, you know, maniacal supervillain aspects of him. So we played him more of as a demented scholar, you know, who's digging into the history of sorcery and, you know, trying to gain something that'll give him, you know, unlimited power.
Back already? And with hours to spare. I'm impressed.
We had, you know, great luck in casting the show. Robert Englund, you know, everybody's favorite mass murderer, Freddy Krueger, was available to play Felix Faust for us, and he was great. He was real creepy and menacing without being an over-the-top cartoon supervillain.
The relics will soon be here. I feel it in my bones. And then, Lord Hades, the world will be ours.